Left, loving your daily content. You're welcome. Always welcome. All right. So let me just quickly go into TRVL. I don't know if anyone is interested. I know a few people are. TRVL, just in case you're not aware, on my YouTube channel, I'm doing a daily blog of TRVL, the live journal of price action and TRVL updates. I'm trying to do this every day for the duration of the Bitcoin bull market. My target is to grow my subscriber base to 10,000 by the end of this year. And I want to take down Airbnb. And I think this is the best hope for us to do that as a collective, as a community, as a crypto community. Imagine if I could gather the whole of the crypto universe to take down Airbnb through Dtravel. That would be an amazing feat. It would be something to write about and to talk about and to celebrate. So that's what I'm doing. So there's a lot of content here on TRVL. I think do your own research. I've got a lot of good things like this video here, how Dtravel has transformed my real world business and why I'm so bullish on TRVL. It's only 17 minutes. Go and have a look at that video. I did that in January, but it's still relevant if you're doing a little bit of research. And then if you look down here, I've got stuff on the tokenomics, and why so bullish on TRVL, an easy explanation of the fundamentals, the Dtravel Night token. I do a deep dive on that, on the light paper that was announced. The rest is TA, but there are some good things. Look, so like, look, move over Airbnb, make space for Dtravel. Go and have a look. So if you come to my streams, I'm doing a lot of daily updates on TRVL, and I'm keeping a close track of it. Why is the question? The why is really important. And if you look at the chart on the monthly time frame, I'm seeing two very bullish ideas that are playing out at the moment. I'm seeing a high, this is the monthly time frame, so it's the higher time frame. I'm seeing a potential Adam and Eve bottoming pattern, which is a multi-year pattern that's forming. You have this V here, and then you have a rounding bottom. You see that? And so we're approaching the neckline, and I'd be very interested to see what happens if and when we break that neckline, to see this bullish trend, to see how it continues. So I'm very interested in this token because of that. And also I've mapped out an accumulation schematic, which is a Wyckoff schematic. I've kind of marked out roughly where the areas are. It's a lot easier to see if we zoom in to this time frame, to the 3-day time frame. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Wyckoff schematics, but they're very powerful, and they can give you ideas of good areas to buy and sell. So I started my YouTube in December. That's roughly where the price was, about 2.5 cents, but I've been tweeting about TRVL for the last 2 years during the whole of the bear market. And one of my tweets, I tweet that this is the best place to buy, where we had this test at about 2.2 cents. That was back in November, and now we're trading at 8 cents, and we got up to about, well, according to this, we got up to about 12 cents so far. So there's a few good things happening with this. I think ultimately what we're creating is something that could take down Airbnb. I haven't really talked about my my vision of the future so much, but The future will belong to DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations like Dtravel, which are powered by their own native tokens such as TRVL. Okay, that is the future of the internet. And Dtravel is a decentralized, or it's becoming a decentralized. It's kind of in between the Web 2 and the Web 3 transition, because that's most of Web 3 is in a transition. And there is a transition between Web 2 and Web 3, because you still have to plug into Web 2 stuff to make Web 3 work. But in the future, everything will be decentralized. So even websites and servers and all of that stuff will be decentralized. So in the what's going to happen is when you create these peer-to-peer applications, like Dtravel, and you put it out into the Web3 space, then that's it. They are persistent. So forever, you have these applications that will persist and they will continue to work. Yeah. So they kind of like, if you can imagine like BitTorrents, where you have these applications and now people are just sharing files all over the world, and they download and they share, and it just works. It just works. As long as you have some kind of BitTorrent kind of application, you can plug into different lists and you can share and download files, and it just works. Yeah, it's illegal, but it works. And it's kind of like Bitcoin just works. You have all of these nodes all around the world mining, but they're also verifying the network, and they're enabling the transaction of value through their decentralized network. In the future, what I'm envisioning is that Dtravel will be the Airbnb for peer-to-peer transactions for vacation rentals. And the growth is with this, and that's why I'm very interested in it, because I think it can do very well. So yeah, so that's quite interesting. I don't know. Zahid, WeChat. ASM coin, support and resistance. Okay, I'll have a look. So that's just a kind of little bit of a lowdown on the why. Do your own research. Nothing that I'm giving you is financial advice, but I'm extremely bullish and I'm buying. Okay, and I'm not buying small amounts, I'm buying large amounts. So if that's a signal, then if that's a signal for you, then good. And I'm gonna build my YouTube page to thousands and thousands of subs if I can, hopefully, and I'll still be talking about TRVL. So you can do the sums. Now, looking at the price action, I'm seeing very similar price action to Bitcoin right now, as is most of the market. We're coming back into kind of like support levels. We are in this kind of like downward kind of wedgy shape, but because it's a low liquidity token, it's not very clean. This is Bybit. And we have this weekly level that I have the price kind of trying to find support on the weekly level. I think it's largely following Bitcoin, okay? But what's interesting about TRVL is we did have a V-shaped recovery. And that's what I wanted to look at today. Do you see this? This is a V-shaped recovery, okay? Look at the volume. The volume is really good volume, okay? So it's not like a low volume V-shaped recovery. And right now, as you can see, we're in a bit of a consolidation pattern with low volume. A little bit of consolidation pattern. And I think this is just waiting for Bitcoin to find strength. When you look at V-shaped recovery patterns, I've been looking at them and the data is very limited, but you do get this drop off on V-shapes, okay? And I'll show you a few images that I discovered. This is a V-shape from the S&P 500. And you see, you do get, when you get a V-shape, you do get a little drop off like that before you get continuation. And look at the continuation, like it continues, okay? And so all we're seeing now is not bearish at all. It's just normal behavior. When you get V-shaped recoveries, you get a little bit of a kind of flagging pattern before continuation. That's what we're experiencing right now. Let me try and find some other V-shapes for you guys. There are different kind of analysis on V-shapes. Let me have a look and see if there's anything interesting. Let me see this one. Well, this is fuzzy as hell. Why is it so fuzzy? Oh my god. What did I do? Is that still fuzzy? You see, you get this little drop off. Now this doesn't continue. So it's hard to see. Okay, let me see this one. That's better. Again, you have this kind of V-shape idea. And then you have this kind of pullback. You see you have a little bit of a pullback. As you have the V-shape, you have this little pullback. And then you have continuation. So we're in the pullback stage right now, as you can see. And what gives me confidence about this pullback is that it's decreasing volume. On average, you look at the green candles, they're higher volume than the red candles. So there's more. This is just a reaccumulation range right now. So maybe some people who bought the dip here, as the price got into the highs, maybe they took profit. And what they're trying to do now is they're trying to put the money back in. And that's basically what I'm seeing right now on the price action. This chart says RSI below 30. I don't use RSI, but just for the sake of consistency or curiosity, let's have a look at the RSI. Yeah, look here where it came down. It was basically, it got to just above 30. Just above 30. So it's on point, isn't it? With that increasing volume, it looks quite good. And that's basically this V-shape. I do think once Bitcoin finds a little bit of strength, once it gets back above the previous all-time high, we're going to start pushing up. Okay, that's what I'm expecting. And when I look at the corrective behavior of this recovery, I am thinking, I mean, it looks very impulsive. This whole thing looks very impulsive. I am wondering if we're still in a correction though, you know. I am wondering whether we had our Elliott wave here. So this is your wave 1, this is our wave 2, this is our 3. I am now wondering, I'm just thinking, is this whole thing corrective? Even though we had a V-shaped recovery, I'm thinking A, B, C, A, B, C. And now I'm thinking some sort of A, B, C or something like that, where this whole thing is your wave 4 for a wave 5. That's what I'm thinking right now. And it could be quite an explosive wave 5 because the wave 3 was bigger than the wave 1. And therefore, we could have a much more extended wave 5. And that's the thing about Elliott waves. As data comes in, as you start to see the price movements, you have to reanalyze and reevaluate. You can't just say that was right and I'm going to stick to it. You see some more data come in and it gives you more information which could invalidate your previous ideas, and you just have to adopt your new ideas. And then the way to know is by doing fibs to see if they line up with other fibs based on your idea. So if that was your, if our correction ends here, let's say this weekly level holds and our correction ends here. Okay, so that's the end of the 2 to the 3 to the end of the 4. Let's say that's the 4. The whole thing is an ABC like that, but it's actually ABC, ABC, ABC. Then actually you see the 1-to-1 takes us perfectly to 17.5 cents. And if you guys are familiar with my higher time frame analysis, you will know that for me 17.5 cents is a very important level. Okay, so it's just you've got a monthly level there. You see that there's a monthly level there. What chart are we on? KuCoin. We've got a monthly level there, and we've got a higher time frame fib level there. You see that you've got this kind of golden pocket area. The top of the golden pocket comes in at 17 cents. You've got the monthly level. Actually, the monthly level is slightly lower. Apologies. But what you do have is a higher time frame fib, I think. Where is it? There it is. So that's a 50%. There's a 50% fib at 17.5 cents. Based on trend-based fib, if this is our full correction and it ends here, then you'll have really strong confluence, and that will give you the confirmation. But also, if you see, there is also a little bit of resistance level at about 15 cents as well. Anyway, but we have to see how this plays out. Like, that would be a 1-to-1. Maybe a little 5-wave up to get to my area of interest, which is 17.5 cents. I would love that to happen, because then we'd be putting in a higher high here, taking out that high. And just be aware that you put in a higher high on the weekly time frame. I'm sure people are going to sell that, but if depending on it, all depends on, you have to realize that it's all going to depend on Dtravel, because they are releasing Sensei and the Traveler app this month, as far as I'm aware. Okay, if suddenly you get this massive release and it goes viral in the crypto market, and you suddenly get an increase in volume, then we could get a breakout. You know, you could just break out with an increase in volume. Yeah, and that will be healthy. And then we're heading up to our next level of interest, which is about 29 cents. Yeah, well, you have to be aware of that, because you are making a higher high, and we do have that Traveler app launching, and we just have to see how the market reacts to that. That won't be your exit liquidity, I don't think. You know, like, if people are thinking sell the news, taking profit is always smart at key levels, but you know, we're early in this process of the price action on the higher time frame. When you're making a higher high, you know, you're looking now for a higher low. If that becomes your higher high after all of this 2.5 or 3 year range, and then suddenly you come in there and you make a higher high, then your next step is a higher low, you know, be a higher low, and then basically your market structure is bullish on the highest time frame. Well, not the highest, but the weekly time frame. All right, that's my TRVL update. So we just keep an eye on that. Any questions on TRVL? I'll keep an eye on that.